cement. But will that also see us justifying, or the ministry justifying, a very huge escalation in costs? And therefore, we want to really hear what is it that the ministry is doing to ensure that one, Rurengo Stadium and all the other stadia are completed within reasonable timeline and within reasonable costs. Because, Honorable Speaker, you know, when projects like this take 10, 15 years, then at the end of it all, we will hear the stadia was to cost maybe 600 million, is now costing 2 billion shillings. And it is that I want to hear what the minister and the ministry are doing to ensure that we check that we do not end up with such a report. Because the Auditor General has reported on the ones that are completed or partially completed, like Kirigiti, Wanguru, and the others. Are we going to hear when the Auditor General reviews this particular one in Rurengo that it was also escalated costs twice or triple what was envisaged? Thank you.
Didaraso.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask the CS one very specific question on Marsabit. Marsabit was built by both the county government and the Sports Kenya. One side of the stadium is complete, the other side is still lagging behind. So who really takes responsibility if such projects are unfinished? And also, you have closed the spaces for the youngsters and for the community of Marsabit town. So how long such projects are likely to take? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Oyula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask the CS whether he is aware that Busia County has no stadium at all, and what arrangements has he in place?
Has no good stadium or has no stadium?
Has no stadium, not even a bad one. And what arrangement has he to ensure that we in Busia, we also get a stadium? Thank you.
Member for Kericho.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to first maybe remind the CS.
Minister, all these are deviations from the original question, but are small questions which you can answer. Yes. Go on.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing me to be what you normally call us the joyriders.
Yes.
Maybe first is to remind the minister that when he came to Kericho, he renamed the stadium as Kiprukut Chuma Stadium, so it is no longer Kericho. And you've actually mentioned that the stadium was done in 3 months. It is true, but there are some issues that have not been sorted. The gates have not been conclusively done. Beautification outside has not been done. Lanes are not well done. So what plans do you have to make sure that the stadium is done to the international standard? Thank you.
Adagala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for putting me in line with the joyriders too, but my question should be taken with the seriousness it takes, because I want to ask the CS Sports, what measures is he going to take, or is taking, or what has he done? In Vihiga County, we have something similar to grounds, that is Hamisi Sports Ground, Kidundu, and Manyora. And Vihiga being a home of champions of rugby and basketball players and football, what arrangements is he making to ensure those stadiums can function and work so that Vihiga can feel we are part part of this Kenya Kwanza government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the CS. As a member of Sports Committee, we budgeted for sports academies, and I don't know where we are with that because nothing has started yet. Thank you.
Can we, okay, last member for M Higher. Then Minister, you can answer those short questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask this, the CS that it is believed he is putting round pegs in squared holes. That in 2027, when we shall be hosting the CAF, he is not preparing Buhungu Stadium, which is the home of football and footballers, but is preparing a different stadium which is known for athletics. I want him to tell this House and Kenyans what he's doing to make sure that the home of football is prepared for football in 2027. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will take one by one pretty fast, starting from the first on the WLC Safari Rally. And Honorable Speaker, it is true that the WLC Safari Rally had quite a pile-up of debts. In fact, I'm very proud to report to this House that this is one of the spaces we have been able to streamline. When this rally was hosted in 2022, for instance, before we came to office, it cost the taxpayer about 2.8 billion shillings. Last year, we were able to halve that and do it at half that budget. This year, even with the economic realities, we have been able to lower it even further. And so we have done very well to get a grip of a space which we believe was not managed very well. And I want to assure this House that there is no chance of Kenya losing the WRC Safari Rally. We are in a very good space with the promoter. We are in a very good space with the FIA, the International Motorsport Federation. And we are also in a very good space in streamlining that whole operation of the rally. The debts which we inherited, we have referred them to a special verification, and that verification process is going on. As soon as that verification is completed so that we know which ones are genuine, which ones should be paid, then they certainly will be settled. And we will plead for some more indulgence for that verification to be concluded. Benet Stadium in Benet County Stadium, yes, I have visited this stadium. Again, it is one of those stadia that were not very well conceived. When you look at Honorable Speaker, if I refer the Honorable Member to page 16 of the master plan, which I have referred to quite a lot, you will see that Benet Stadium is listed under what we are calling completion of ongoing regional stadia. And so when this was a project of the county government, we have taken it up and it is part of the plans we have to complete it. But there are serious integrity issues there. We have done some initial tests and we believe that some of the structures that were done by the county government may actually need to be pulled down as part of the completion of this project. The other question from the Honorable Ferdinand Onyoni on AFCON and the general elections, we believe that there shouldn't really be overly much concern. Actually, we see the general elections and the football fever complementing pretty good. And Kenyans, I believe, will immensely enjoy the Africa Cup of Nations even as we gear to the general elections. We don't anticipate any problem at all, unless the Honourable Member knows something that we don't, and we'll be happy to listen to.
Under the fear of the unknown. Just go.
Honourable Speaker, we also occasionally suffer from the fear of the unknown. Honourable Adagala has also mentioned Hamisi, Kidundu, Mumbaha, and I can also assure the Honourable Member for Vihiga that Kidundu Stadium is also in the master plan. If you look at page 16, you will see under support for new regional stadia, Kidundu is listed as a project. So that is already considered, but we have also been in talks with the leadership of Vihiga, including the governor, just to determine what would be the best place in Vihiga County for a regional stadia in that county. But in the meantime, Kidundu is listed in the master plan. On the question regarding Kiprogut Stadium, Kiprogut Chumo Stadium, it is true that we have formally, in an official ceremony, renamed that stadium in honor of Kenya's first ever Olympics medal winner, the late Kiprogut Arap Chumo. That is the new name, and we are aware that there are a few elements that need to be completed, something that Sports Kenya is seized of for completion. Honorable Yula mentioned the Busia County Stadium, and I'm pleased to inform the Honorable Member, Honorable Speaker, that this particular county actually has no stadium, as the Honorable Member has indicated. The remnants of the stadium that was there was a victim of the public protests, which went away with the remnants of Busia Stadium. And so Busia no longer has a stadium, but we have advertised this project, and expression of interest is ongoing for construction of a new stadium in Busia County. That process is nearing the tail end, the expression of interest. The sports academies, there's a question, a latter question here, Honorable Speaker, on which we had provided some information on academies.
Skip that.
I can skip it for now, and I'll answer it at that point, because we have provided details on the question of academies. The Honorable Dida Raso has mentioned Marsabit, and again Marsabit is in our master plan, and you have correctly noted, Honorable Raso Yakwamba, that one bit of the project is completed. That is the bit that was done by the ministry through Sports Kenya. That bit is completed, and I did visit, and I confirmed that. I physically visited Marsabit to confirm that. The bit the county government did is incomplete. And we had some serious concerns about the integrity of that structure. I'm pleased to report to this House that we have done integrity tests, and those tests are now being, we have a report. We did commission just to determine whether that structure could withstand completion. The test results are being analyzed now. As soon as that is completed, we'll proceed to complete as indicated in the master plan. There is a question from the Honorable Member from Haya on Buhungu Stadium, and I couldn't agree more with the Honorable Member from Haya that this region, the Mlembe land is a hotbed of talents. Buhungu itself is like a shrine of football, and certainly deserves to be given attention. And I'm pleased again to report to this Honorable House, Honorable Speaker, that I was personally at Buhungu a month ago to do groundbreaking for the completion of Buhungu Stadium. We have entered into partnership with the county government to help the county government as national government to complete the bit that is remaining. So work is going on Buhungu, and we have every determination to complete Buhungu. While that is going on, we have also done groundbreaking for Masimba Muliro Stadium Kandui in Bungoma County, which is also on track. In fact, that will be the host of Madaraka Day this year, and we are racing against time to complete it in time to be able not only to host Madaraka Day, but also to be available to support the sporting ecosystem in Bungoma County and the rest of that region. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the question from the Majority Leader. The Honorable Majority Leader asked a fundamental question, the question of cost, the question of escalation of project cost. And I'm happy to report to this Honorable House that the audit report that the Honorable Majority Leader refers to is actually the result of our own request. It was myself who wrote to the Auditor General to invite the Office of the Auditor General to look at these projects in the process of developing our master plan to help us to avoid pitfalls that have afflicted this sector for so many years. And we are so keen, because this is our audit, as it were, if I could call it that. It is our audit, we asked for it. And so the results are very important for us. And we are very keen to deal with this hydra-headed monster of overpricing projects, because it is real. You look at a lot of these projects and they are really, you don't see value for money. And so we are being very keen to deal with that issue. And one of those things, one of the measures we have taken, Honorable Speaker, is to do prototypes, so that if we want to develop regional stadia, for instance, we do a prototype, we cost that prototype. And so for every actual project, we measure it against our prototype. The academies, for instance, someone had given a cost of about 400 million shillings per academy. We did our own prototype that indicates you can do these academies for not more than 50 million shillings. Many times less than what was projected. And so I can assure this House and the Majority Leader that we are on top of this to keep budgets in check and deliver value for money to the taxpayer. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Martin Owino, question 053 of 2024.
Speaker, the opportunity is appreciated. I rise to ask question 53 to the CS Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports. 1. Could the CS outline the measures taken by the ministry in promoting sports development and nurturing talents in communities, particularly in rural areas where there is abundance of talent? 2. Could the CS consider establishing a sports center or academies in their constituency with the aim of empowering and fostering economic growth among the youth? 3. Could the CS clarify whether there are plans to monetize sports nationwide using other means apart from the recently launched Talenta Hela, which is predominantly in the urban areas? Lastly, very important, could the CS explain how the ministry intends to roll out the Talenta Hela initiative, and can the CS provide assurance that the initiative will not lead to unsustainable economic burdens on the beneficiaries once concluded? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me bring to the attention of the Honorable Member from Diwa and the House generally that I've made some admixtures to my responses, and so some of the issues that have been raised here are also, the information is provided in the mixtures. Let me particularly refer to Annexure B that talks to the work we are doing in the space of innovation, because that is part of our Talenta Hela initiative and part of promoting youth creativity and entrepreneurship. I also have an C, which provides youth training camps nationally. We are rolling out 45 athletics training centers in different parts of the country. That is provided as Annex C. That is in addition to Annex A, which is the master plan. Now, back to this question. We are very proud of the measures we have taken as a ministry and as a government to raise the profile of identifying, nurturing, and monetizing talents in this country. We came to office at a time when this space really had no frame. The whole sporting arena was very troubled, so trouble all over the place. There was no notable structure, no notable initiative on how to deal with the question of developing the talents of young people in this country and turning them into livelihoods, or pesa mfukoni as we call it. Things like football were in shambles. Football was actually suspended at the time we came to office. Doping had run amok, and Kenya was just on the verge of being banned by World Athletics. Sports infrastructure, as we have demonstrated here, was in shambles all over the place. It was even unthinkable that Kenya could host AFCON. It's actually amazing that today we are talking about hosting AFCON. At the time the Kenya Kwanza administration came to office, Kenya did not even have a stadium to host an international game, not even a friendly game. Today we are now talking about hosting international events. And so we're very happy that we've been able to put in place the Talanta Home Initiative that has been able to provide a framework of how to identify talents countrywide, nurture those talents, monetize those talents. The football program, for instance, which ran last year, it was a nationwide program that resulted in finals which His Excellency the President graced at Nyayo Stadium, with the women teams receiving significant prize money for that process. The girls had Busia as winners, Kisumu position 3, Homabay position 3, Kisumu position 2, with winners receiving 5 million shillings, 3 million shillings for runners-up, 2 million shillings for number 3, Wasingishu, number 4, receiving 1 million shillings, and that was the same thing for boys. We also rewarded regional winners. Everybody who participated in this and emerged a winner in their respective regions was also duly rewarded. And I'm very happy that today we've been able, under the Kenya Academy of Sports, to develop a national talent pool. Today we want an under 15 team, we have it. Under 17, under 18, under 19, under 20, those teams are available anytime. We saw the performance of our under 18 team in Sekafa. A lot of those young people were from this talent pool. Tomorrow, actually today, this evening, our national under 20 team will be departing from Malawi to participate in the Four Nations tournament. A lot of those youngsters are from this pool. On Friday, our under 19 team, both boys and girls, will go in for special training camp in Spain. Again, those are products of this pool. This year, Kenya, for the first time, is entering all World Cup qualifiers for youth teams. And that is because of this pool we've been able to create under this talent progression. So I believe we are in a good space. We have created spaces, as I've said. We are rolling out 45 athletic centers countrywide. We are rolling out academies, which I will come to. And all this is intended to provide an ecosystem for identifying, nurturing, and monetizing these talents in a very, very deliberate manner. We are also funneling them outside the country. Today you go to the Nastic Soccer Academy in Spain. You meet boys like Aldrin Kibet, Enos Wanjala, Alvin Kasavuli, products of this ecosystem who have ended up in an elite football ecosystem in Spain. Leo Ingavi at Montverde Academy in Orlando, Florida, is a product of this pipeline. So we are happy that we have a pipeline that is actually producing. The second question, which is about establishing a sports center or academy in Biwa. Again, I'm pleased to report here that we have developed a framework on developing academies. The ultimate aim of this framework is to provide academies countrywide so that every constituency ultimately shall have an academy. We have provided on page 12 of my responses a list of the initial constituencies. We did a survey countrywide, and on page 12 to 13, you will find a list of constituencies that are going to be the ignition, the first wave, and we'll be doing these in waves. purely because of resources. And so the question that was asked earlier about academies, that yes, we have already done the framework and we are preparing to start rolling them out. We took a bit of time to do the prototype, and when we did the prototype, we were able to reduce the cost of these academies from the initial projected cost of about 400 million shillings to 50 million per academy, by just making sure that we live within budgetary limits and we do projects that deliver value for money. So that is a project that is going to roll out, and so Mvula will ultimately be covered in that framework of the constituency academies. On the question of
Move a little faster, Minister.
yes, clarify whether there are plans to monetize sports talents. Yes, we are, besides the Talanta Hela initiative, we are getting into some very solid partnerships to widen opportunities available. We have signed a deal with the NBA, for instance. I was in New York with His Excellency the President last year to sign a deal with NBA to develop basketball right from the school's ecosystem. And that is an opportunity for our young people. We have signed a deal with Invention Studios of Hollywood to promote the film industry. We have signed a deal with the Grammys to promote music. And so we have expanded that space. We have brought in the corporate sector. We have put in place, again for the first time ever, an incentives framework to encourage corporates to put money in this space. And we now have a system with the Treasury for tax rebates. For every shilling you put in, you get a certain tax break under that framework to expand that space. And so I believe that that is a matter that is very much on track. How the ministry intends to roll out the Talanta Hela initiative. This initiative is already up and running. We launched it last year. It is already rolling. This year it is going to be much broader. And the plan now is to involve other sporting disciplines and bring in creatives like music, film, theater, and other segments of the initiative. The initial one was very successful, brought together thousands of young people into talent camps, and it is what has resulted in the talent pool that I'm so proud of to mention here. And so yes, it's a program that is running, and I assure the House that it can only get better. Other partnerships that we have entered into, the most recent one is with the Amazon Web Services to fully exploit the digital space, which is also going to include upgrading the Talanta Hela Digital Hub into Talanta TV for purposes of promoting content from the sporting arena and also from creatives. Is going to find a very vibrant space that is also IP, intellectual property, protected within that ecosystem of the Talanta Hela Digital Hub, which is up and running. And I would welcome honorable members, to take time and visit the Talanta Digital Hub at the Kenya Academy of Sports at Kasarani. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Martin, you are not satisfied?
Speaker, just a quick supplementary. You talked of master plan. I was hoping that in that master plan you can pinpoint when there will be a beneficiary, and you say within the framework. That is a little bit discouraging. But Mr. Speaker, we don't also have the privilege of having those annexures he's talking about. So we don't know which ones are in the 45 and which ones are not. And lastly, last time you were here, CS, you mentioned that the Talanta Hela is on procurement. At what stage are you today?
Songuli, Joyriders, one question.
Mr. Speaker, could the minister has painted a very rosy picture about his efforts in promoting community talent. Could I be in order, Mr. Speaker, to ask the minister whether Narok or in particular Kilgoris, is he aware that Kilgoris has been given a blackout, yet we have been producing the highest number of talents, I think, in the region. We have the two Rudishas, we have Marai, we have many others. And Mr. Speaker, because my questions are brief, let me just ask another one.
Now that if you are nurturing talent, Mr. Minister, would it be also in order, because of the whole government approach, for the government to consider athletics, for instance, as one of the qualifications, one of the possible qualifications to be recruited in the army, notwithstanding the fact that the athlete may not have gone to Form 4, because many of our athletes are talented in running, but when they go for interviews for police jobs or for the army, they do not actually get them because they do not have Form 4 certificates. Can you use the whole government approach to persuade your colleagues that this is a talent enough, competent of taking one to the armed forces?
Kirwa, one question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask this question about Athletic Kenya. There have been a huge complaints from athletes towards the organization, and a few weeks ago, the court ordered fresh elections at Athletic Kenya. I would like to hear from the minister, the CS, what is the minister doing about it? How did it happen that having the same officials for 8 consecutive years in office, and what have they done about it? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Bensouda. Give her the mic. Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'd like to...
Bensouda, the reason the clerks have difficulty finding you members is many of you come in without your cards. It makes it difficult for members to pinpoint where you are. Please try and be carrying your cards.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is well noted, but this side has always been a problem, though it is my sitting in this house. So I think the ICT should come with speed because this is my permanent sitting place. Thank you, the CS, for your mastery of what you're responding to, but my question, one, which I'll also add another one in conjunction very fast.
Only one.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In regard to health within the sports sector, on mentoring our youths, personally, I've observed a gap. I'm talking based on the recent sports which I conducted as the MP, county MP for Homa Bay. I would like you to tell this House what plans you have in place to ensure that the health status of the players, whether under 17, under 18, 19, or 20, are taken care of in terms of facilitating, availing, and equipping mobile health clinics or first aid kits. Because I noticed that once our players are injured in the fields, the sub-county hospitals do not have adequate capacity to rush in and bring the first aid kits or the mobile clinics to take our players to the field. I think that is a gap that you need to plan for, and I know even by the time I finish this question, because you are very sharp, you already visualize the plan you have in place, so that you don't have players running around people, mobilizing for funds. Some of them don't even have NHIF insurance.
You are making a speech. Ask a question.
The question, Mr. Speaker, sir, what plans do you have in place to take care of the health issues in regard to mobile clinics and first aid kits? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well done. Yegon, Brian. Richard Yegon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Also being a member of Sports Committee, I would like to ask the Cabinet Secretary about Bomet Stadium. During the time you visited Bomet, I understand the stadium...
That one was already asked.
No, it's a different thing. It's a different thing, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
That stadium was condemned. And I understand there was a directive that these others, there will be another new stadium to be built instead of demolishing the one which is there and constructing a new one. We are going to construct a new one. Could you kindly give us the direction on that, Cabinet Secretary? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would like to ask the Cabinet Secretary what the opinion on what is going to be done by the fact that there is a very big conflict of interest in Athletics Kenya. The Vice President of Athletics Kenya is also the senior partner in OO Advocates, which is the lawyer for Athletics Kenya, and also the chairman of the Sports Tribunal is a partner in the same OO Advocates, along with Gennaro Kibet, who is the vice president. We also have a situation where Barnaba Korir, who is a member of the AK board, is also the owner of the Continental Championships, which he controls and runs as a personal business. And this, again, you know, Cabinet Secretary, that when this gets out, chances of Kenya being banned from world athletics is extremely high. The conflict is known to the Cabinet Secretary. Could you please tell us what you'll do about it to save Kenya from being banned? Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. I just wish the Cabinet Secretary could highlight, recognizing that talent emanates or starts in primary schools and secondary schools. What efforts is the ministry doing to improve sporting facilities in both primary and secondary schools in the entire Republic of Kenya, especially in the western part of Kenya, which is the citadel of football, and we are also emerging as the force in athletics. Thank you, Speaker.
Aika.
Thank you, Speaker. I want to ask the minister whether he is aware that in Taita Taveta there is no stadium of international standard, and the one Danson Manyora Stadium is in a dilapidated state, and also the Moi Stadium is in a mess. What plans does the ministry have for sports stadium in Taita Taveta? Thank you.
Paulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. And my question is to the Cabinet Secretary. I come from Nandi, the source of champions, and there we do not have a modern stadium. We feel you're not visible in Nandi County. So I don't know what plans you are having for Nandi, factoring in that is the place where many people have actually put the flag of Kenya high. I'm the member of parliament from where Kipchoge comes from, and there's really nothing much to be proud of. If people from the international if those people who have given us medals come and check and see where Kina Kipchoge come from, it's going to be an embarrassment. So I would like to know what plans you have for Nandi County, and in special reference to sports academies. Thank you.
Koimburi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to ask Minister my question. My question is on behalf of Kiambu County in Gatondo South. We have a stadium which started 7 years ago, and the people of Gatondo South, which is Karato Stadium, the people have not been paid for more than 7 years. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Timothy? Is that Timothy Kipchumba? Or you are not called Timothy?
That is my first name.
Yes.
Now, CS, could you respond to the issue that Elgeyo-Marakwet County, despite being referred to as the county of champions, and having produced world beaters like Kevin Kiptum, may he so rest in peace, that we do not have a government-funded high-altitude training center, and that all the training centers are owned by private individuals? What plans does the government have in establishing high altitude training centers in Elgeyo Marakwet County so as to tap the talent that is in that county?
Member for Kwale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I would like to ask the CS, what plans do you have as a ministry to revive sports tourism in Kenya and mostly Diani, where we have golf, skydive, and other sports, which can be very instrumental for the country and also for the county economy, if the right investment can be made. Does the ministry have any plans for it in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism in partnership with the coastal counties? Thank you, Mr.
Minister. Yes, Kombe. I can see you keep on raising your hand. You'll be the last on this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Your neighbor has asked a question. You can wait for the answer.
Thank you.
From the same neighborhood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now that the NGCDF does not host sports anymore, what plans does the ministry have to make sure we conduct tournaments in our respective constituencies so as to tap the talents of the young people? Thank you.
Minister, if you can answer those in under 10 minutes, I'll be very happy.
I'll try, Honorable Speaker. Very quickly, I'll just go one by one. There was a question on the Talanta Hela in procurement. Actually, when I first appeared in this house, I did indicate that what had delayed the takeoff of that program was procurement of certain services, like the provision of the software and also the construction of the physical infrastructure. But that has been done and the program is up and running. Yeah, I actually welcome honorable members to the Kenya Academy of Sports to look at the hub. It is a beautiful place. The second question was about Kilgoris, and I can actually confirm to the honorable member that Munge Primary School in Kilgoris is already on our list for the special centers that we are establishing. The honorable member can confirm that. So Kilgoris is definitely within our scope. And on the question of using athletics or talent as a basis for recruitment, it is a policy that our armed forces, our disciplined forces already apply. A lot of our, in fact, most of our athletes, most of our elite athletes operate within the ecosystem of our disciplined forces. And this is something which we encourage, but I also want to confirm here that it is our policy to encourage academics to go hand in hand with the development of talent, especially completing the basic level of education. It serves our athletes well. It serves our sportsmen and women well. The third question is on Athletics Kenya elections, and this is a matter that has attracted, in fact, one of the reasons why the management or elections in Athletics Kenya has been problematic, as is the case with several other federations, has been a lot of court action. This matter is active in court. There was a court order, and the other side again ran to court and got an injunction. It's a bit of a messed space. We are reviewing the Sports Act, and we will be bringing the reviewed Sports Act to this honorable house. And one of the things we are grappling with is how to deal with the litigation, and how litigation undermines or interferes with the administration of some of these federations. And some of the leaders, some of the incumbents actually sponsor litigation so that they can stay in office ad infinitum.
Disqualify them. Disqualify them, if you have evidence.
Okay, Honorable Speaker. Yes. If I have the authority of the Speaker, then I'm going to leave this house very emboldened today. On the question of health for players, this is critical, absolutely critical. We have seen very, very sad cases of even losing athletes in the course of training. We are preparing to lay to rest one of our athletes who we lost in Cameroon while on the track, while racing, doing the mountain run. And so provision of health services is critical, first aid services, mobile clinics. If this house facilitates the ministry, the Kenya Academy of Sports, Sports Kenya, to provide these services in our academies, in our stadia, we'll be more than happy to provide that. There is a cabinet memo we are preparing for consideration by cabinet, and one of the issues we are addressing very substantively is the issue of health and healthcare for our athletes.
In fact, Minister, there's an athlete who collapsed and died after a marathon, right?
I have just mentioned that in Cameroon, just to amplify the fact that it is a real threat. It is something that we cannot treat lightly. There's the question from Honorable Yagon on Bomet Stadium, or the stadium in Bomet. And when we visited Bomet Stadium, it initially was the choice of the leadership of Bomet. But then it came to, we were notified that there were discussions on the possibility to pick a different venue. And we have asked the leadership of Bomet County to resolve that conversation. We are ready to proceed with this project once the leadership of the county indicates to us the preferred site. So Honorable Yagon and the leadership of Bomet, you show us the site, we will proceed with the project. The Honorable Deputy Speaker has raised the big issue of conflict of interest in Athletics Kenya, and it certainly is a big issue. But when you look at the law again, when you look at the operations of a lot of these federations, they act with impunity because of the so-called cover of parent international federations. And so you're always threatened with the excuse of third-party interference. It has happened to this country previously, especially with football, but these are issues which certainly have to be dealt with. What I can assure this House is that we have given very firm notice to the Football Kenya Federation, to Athletics Kenya, and all the federations in this country that obeying the law is not a choice. Obeying the law is an imperative, and we have noted the issue that have been raised by the Deputy Speaker, and I want to give the assurance that we certainly will be picking them up for action. On the question of sporting facilities in schools from the Honorable Member for Funula, it is critical. The natural domicile of talents in this country is schools. That is where 99% of our talent are domiciled. It is imperative that we target schools as the primary source of the talent development pipeline. When we look at our Talanta Hela initiative, the Talanta Hela pipeline is actually anchored in schools. And that is why the school ball games, drum and film festival, music festival, all the talent processes going on in schools, the funding for that space was taken over by this ministry. Now the Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports finance all those activities. We provide support to those activities, and we give the pipeline for progressing those talents through the Kenya Academy of Sports, through the Kenya Film Commission, through the National Theatre, the Kenya Film School. We have been able to join those dots, something that did not exist before. And on the question of improving facilities in schools, we have already started. The 45 centers I have mentioned here are all school-based. They are all based in schools. And they will provide the ignition, the beginning point of improving facilities in our schools to support this ecosystem of talents in our schools. Taita Taveta, we are in conversation with the Honorable Governor. We were on the phone 2 days ago actually, discussing the situation of Taita Taveta, and he indicated to me on the phone, the Honorable Governor, that the land is actually available to do a facility in Taita Taveta, and it is something that we will be progressing. We'll be progressing that conversation. The Honorable Komboni Karatu Stadium in Gatundu, in Kiambu County, County was one of the troubled stadia, the stadia that I mentioned at the beginning, one of the stadia that we subjected to audit, one of the stadia we subjected to assessment, but the construction is now back on. The construction of Karatu is back on, and we have made it clear to the contractor that Karatu has taken too long and the construction has to be accelerated. We want Karatu to be completed, and there is also some adjustments we are planning to do to the other one is called what? The one we finished. Kirigiti. We are also doing some adjustment to Kirigiti. We want to open Kirigiti to the public pretty soon, so that Kirigiti and Karatu should be able, in the meantime, to serve the people and the sportsmen and women of Kiambu County. Nandi County, I'm glad to report that we have already advertised the construction of Kipchoge Keino Stadium in Nandi. We advertised, and I believe the conclusion of the procurement should be at a very advanced stage to construct the Kipchoge Keino Stadium. And as academies go, Koltanen Samuel Academy is one of the priority academies that is in the master plan for Nandi County, in appreciation of the immense contribution that Nandi County continues to make to the sporting ecosystem of our country. The other question is from Honorable Timothy Elgeyo Marakwet. Again, I'm very happy to report that we have advertised finally the construction of Cameroon Stadium, and in our plan, Cameroon is more than just a stadium. Cameroon is both a stadium and an elite high altitude training center, because the air around Cameroon is just in its own league, and the training, the suitability of training in Elgeyo Marakwet is on another scale. And so that is a priority project. Alongside this project, we will also be improving Iten grounds, Chepkorio grounds, and another space called Napo Primary School, not Napo, Chepkorio's second school, and the Kiptulu's Primary School in Kenya South. These all is part of improving that ecosystem in that space, and to honor the great contribution of Elgeyo Marakwet. Elgeyo Marakwet gave us Kelvin Kiptum, the young man we sadly lost the other day, and today we had a special ceremony to induct Kelvin Kiptum officially into the Talanta Hall of Fame in honor of his contribution. And so I can confirm that a lot is going on. The resources are limited. At this rate, this House should really consider providing this ministry with a special allocation just for infrastructure, for sports and the creatives, because as you can see, the need is immense, and at the ministry we are delighted that there is a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement across the country about sports and the creatives. Because if we turn this into a mega industry, then we are guaranteed employment opportunities and support for livelihoods of our young people and a great portion of our population. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
We'll go to the last question, Irene Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the...
Which one, order my Irene? Kombe. Swali gani?
Honorable Speaker, actually, do realize that I skipped two questions, if you would allow me.
The member for Kwale has left, so you can leave out that.
There is a question on...
He says CDF is not allowed
yes,
to...
Yes, just making sure that we now support constituencies. And through the model we have put in place the Talanta Hela model of talent growth from the grassroots. Initially, our target has been the school ecosystem, to work through schools, through colleges. It is possible for us to sit down with honorable members and see how that can be integrated in the programs that members of parliament run at the constituency level. So that as we do constituency academies, as we do constituency athletics development centers, we can also see how sporting activities can be integrated in our broader Talanta Hela program. And on the sports tourism, we are doing very well. We work very closely with the Ministry of Tourism. We already do programs at the coast, like the Vipingo Ladies Open is by any stretch of imagination. The Vipingo LET is a sports tourism package. As we prepare for the WRC Safari Rally next week, we are working together with the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Trade. When the elite drivers arrive this weekend, their first destination is going to be the Masai Mara ecosystem to use their presence to market the country to the world. And so sports tourism is a product that we are pushing and we are deploying to further expand the attraction of Kenya to the rest of the world. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Irene Mayaka, your question has been scratched on several times in the answers given by the Minister. So ask your question, Minister, you'll take 5 minutes on that. Question 055 of 2024. Nominated member Irene Mayaka.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, my questions to the Cabinet Secretary. Number one, could the Cabinet Secretary elaborate on the policy framework guiding the provision of medical cover for sports persons in the country and measures in place to ensure that athletes are provided with medical coverage? Question number two, state if the Football Kenya Federation, FKF, and the Kenya Premier League has considered the provision of medical coverage to football players, including to advocate for the rights of the athletes to health care. I thank you.
Minister.
Honorable Speaker, let me admit that other than the normal processes we go through to provide insurance when our teams are traveling out of the country, like right now we are taking our junior, under 19 junior teams, boys and girls, to Spain at the end of this week. We have had to secure medical insurance for them. Other than those provisions, and also requirements that FKF would be under through the CAF club licensing regulations. When you look at the CAF club licensing regulations, there are requirements for medical insurance and NHIF and that kind of cover for excuse me, for players. Other than that, we have really not had any robust, deliberate, intentional, structured plan to provide health insurance to our sportsmen and women. But I'm glad to report that we are working on a composite cabinet memo for the welfare of sportsmen and women. It covers a wide range of issues, from issues of pension, environment, health insurance, issues of travel, how do our sportsmen and women travel, for instance. We're looking at the possibility of diplomatic passports in certain limited circumstances. We're looking at issues like how do you take care of these athletes when they retire, in retirement. We're looking at housing. How do you provide respectable housing, especially under the affordable housing framework to our sportsmen and women. And this cabinet memo is going to provide us with an official policy framework to finally fix some of the challenges our sportsmen and women face that have never been fixed for 60 years of our independence. I believe, Honorable Speaker, that this is going to provide this House also, because once the policy frame is ready, we have every intention to subject it to honorable members here for your input. And when it comes, please give it your input.
It as a sessional paper.
Yes. We are preparing it in the form of a white paper that could progress all the way to the House. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Irene, are you satisfied? I allow you a supplementary.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you for that. I just have a very quick supplementary question. and that is just on what the CS has been able to tell us about the policy paper, which I'm hoping will be fast-tracked because we've already had situations of losing athletes and we don't know the succession or the life insurance plans for them, and I hope that is included. But to the matter relating to the medical cover for the Football Federation, I'm really curious to know if at all the ministry does take a check on the status of compliance of these particular football teams. And the reason why I ask that, and I know the CS must be aware, that we do have instances of even legendary footballers who have had injuries in their line of duty, who are currently actually being donated for money by citizens for them to be able to be taken care of. So my concern is the continuity plan of that and also the status. Are you able to have a status report on the compliance of these particular clubs to the federation regulations? Thank you.
Minister, no joyriders here. We've come to an end.
The scenario affecting our sportsmen and women has previously been really bad, we have to admit. Previously, we have never had a framework, even the rewards framework. Until this administration put in place a new rewards framework, today you know you break a world record, you know we are giving you 5 million shillings. You win a gold medal, you know you are earning yourself 3 million shillings. Now there is certainty. You know what you're competing for, you know what is available to you. We are now naming our facilities using the names of our sporting greats. We're inducting our sporting greats in a Hall of Fame. We have come a long way to provide a framework to send a strong message that Kenyan sportsmen and women are a special breed of our population. They brand this country in a manner that you cannot even quantify financially. That 2-3 minutes someone takes to win an 800-meter Olympics gold medal, that moment when the Kenyan flag is rising in a foreign arena, that moment when all the world is focused on this country, it's invaluable in monetary terms. This country has not treated our sportsmen and women well previously. This administration is changing that and changing it in a deliberate, intentional, and structured fashion. And one of those things is being reflected in the attention we are paying even to issues like pension, what happens to you when you retire, issues like housing, or issues like healthcare. As we discuss the new framework for health insurance, we are initiating discussion with the Ministry of Health to have a special product for our sportsmen and women. We don't even have capabilities in all our health facilities to provide specialized attention to some of these life-changing injuries. The tools of trade for our sportsmen and women are their body parts, their feet, their arms. And you get an injury to that body, we are basically putting you out of life, because that is their life. And I can assure this House that through the policy framework we are developing, we'll even fix that enforcement that Honorable Mayaka is mentioning, making sure that those who take responsibility, including federations and other sporting organizations, meet those responsibilities. We enforce those obligations. And I'll go back to that framework because we believe what we've done well, we've done pretty well, but now having a good, solid framework will be able to solidify the interventions we are already making. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Minister, as you leave, I want to encourage you. You've just said what I was about to say, that it is not often that our national anthem is played in as many international capitals as it is done because of our athletes. I want to encourage you, when I was your foreign minister, I anchored the role of our athletes in our foreign policy. It's cross-cutting, it's in foreign affairs, but you can also engage the Minister of Foreign Affairs to ensure that all our world beaters and our emerging athletes are provided with protocol services when they go out there. When our athlete breaks a world record, when our athlete wins a gold medal, every international media house draws interest to interview them. And some of them have either limited education or limited exposure. You should provide them with protocol services and media services that can be able to help them so that they can be able to market the country even more and even better. That's something that you should consider as a minister, and it will be a wonderful thing to do. We don't have any greater brand Kenya and marketing Kenya than our athletes. Yes?
I couldn't agree, and my heart is dancing with joy to listen to the Honorable Speaker acknowledge something which has become a gospel for me, really to keep reminding ourselves and keep reminding the world that our sportsmen and women are the goose that lays the golden egg of brand Kenya. And nothing brands this country more or better than these great Kenyans. And indeed, I can confirm to you, Honorable Speaker, that process has already started. Today, we are talking about preparation of Kenya House in Paris for the Olympics in the summer. And we have already put together a multi-agency team from this Ministry of Sports, the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Trade, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, to see how to curate that space as a special Kenyan space, as a space where the world can come and interact with the very best of Kenya. And we have already lined up the Ferdinand Manuelas of this world, the Faith Kipyegon, to make special appearances at Kenya House to interact with the world as part of that branding our country. And yes, protocol services are important. I want to thank our ambassadors who have already come on board through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, of course, and make special mention of someone like Ambassador Matwanga in Rome, who was on hand last weekend as Kenya swept and painted Rome, Kenya. Basically, you could have imagined that Rome was actually Kenya because the Rome marathon was swept, both boys and girls, by Kenyans, and Ambassador Matwanga was on hand to stand by these great sportsmen and women. That is what we encourage our ambassadors to do and our heads of mission across the world. And I have also been telling our athletes, and I can repeat it here, that when a foreign journalist thrusts a mic in your face and you're still panting from that race, speak the language you're most comfortable with. Watajipanga with an interpreter. And you can speak Swahili, you can speak Luo, you can speak Kalenjin, and ordinarily they'll sort themselves out with interpretation. Because when you express yourself best in your language of first instruction. And so if you're comfortable with any of these languages, nothing stops you from doing it. But I agree, Honorable Speaker, that having protocol services and having a protocol officer to support you in these moments is indispensable, and we shall follow. We shall follow through, Honorable Speaker. I thank you.
Thank you, Minister. You are released to go back to your other duties. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge a visiting delegation from John Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies. The delegation is in the Speaker's Gallery. It's led by Professor Sinisa Vukovic. He may stand to be acknowledged. There he is. The delegation is visiting Parliament courtesy of the Honorable George Peter Kaluma, the member for Homabay, and a member of the Speaker's panel is just about to take the chair. On my own behalf and that of the House, I welcome the delegation to the National Assembly of Kenya to observe the proceedings of the House this afternoon. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 12, Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable members, you may be upstanding, including those in the gallery.
those who are, then lead us out. Thank you. Okay. Oh, we can. Are you the one taking the chair?
No, it's committee of the whole house.
Please let them announce.
Very well, honorable members, you may take your seats. We want to get to the committee of the whole house. We want to make the law now. And this time we are dealing with the statute law miscellaneous amendments, number 2 bill, National Assembly Bill number 68 of 2023.
Yes.
Provisions relating to the oaths and statutory declaration cap 15.
Order, honorable members. I hope the chairman and the leader is in the house because he'll be playing a very significant role. Very well, the leader is now in the house. We can take that again.
Provisions relating to the oaths and statutory declarations cap 15.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the oaths and statutory declarations cap 15 be amended as proposed in the bill.
Sections 3 and 12.
I propose the question that sections 3 and 12 be amended as proposed in the bill. There being no amendments in this particular provision, I put the question that sections 3 and 12 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the oaths and statutory declarations cap 15 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Advocates Act cap 16.
I propose the question that provision relating to the Advocates Act cap 16 be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 2 and section 81(1).
I propose the question that sections 2 and section 81(1) be amended as proposed in the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments to this, and therefore I put the question that sections 2 and sections 81(1) be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Advocates Act cap 16 be part of the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Notaries Public Act cap 17.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Notaries Public Act cap 17 be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 41, 42 and 53.
I propose the question that sections 41, 42, 53 be amended as proposed in the bill. Honorable members, again, there are no amendments to this particular one, and therefore I put the question that sections 41, 42 and 53 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of the opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Notaries Act cap 17 be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Civil Procedure Act cap 21.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Civil Procedure Act, Cap 21, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 81(1)(a).
I propose the question that Section 81(1)(a) be amended as proposed by the mover. Mover?
Yes. Thank you very much. The chairperson, I propose that Section 81(1)(a) of the bill of the Civil Procedure Act proposed be actually deleted. The justification is that the reduction of the numbers representing the Law Society of Kenya in the Rules Committee would negatively affect the interests of the legal practitioners, because this is theirs.
I propose the question that Sections 81(1)(a) be amended as proposed by the mover. Let's see if there's any interest in this.
Civil procedure rules.
Civil procedure rules. There being no interest in that, I now put the question that Sections 81(1)(a) be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Civil Procedure Act, Cap 21, as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to Public Holidays Act, Cap 110.
I propose the question that provision relating to the Public Holidays Act, Cap 110, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Schedule.
Mover. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that the schedule be amended as provided for in the order paper. Honorable Speaker, just for the benefit of members, this was there was a provision to delete Utamaduni Day from a schedule of public holidays, and instead of deletion of that, and in recognition of the crusade to save our environment through climate change mitigation measures, it was the view of the committees that instead of doing away with a public holiday, we rename that particular day to Mazingira Day. Therefore, we are removing the expression Utamaduni Day and replacing thereof with the expression Mazingira Day, so that this public holiday now is themed around protection of our environment, climate change issues. And you remember this year, late last year, we had a day that was designated as a public holiday for tree planting. And therefore, this will now be such a day. Every year, Kenyans will have that opportunity to plant trees and create awareness around issues, mazingira, or environment. Thank you. I beg to move.
I propose the question that the schedule be amended as proposed by the mover. I can hear the voice of Honorable Undo.
Chair, the move is just being very extremely unfair. You see, traditionally, that is Moi Day. And honestly, it changed from Moi Day. It was no holiday. It was reinstated. It went, I don't know which day. It went to Utamaduni Day. It's now changed to Mazingira Day. And I'm sure next year he will change it, probably to Kabete Day. Honorable Speaker, can't we just be magnanimous enough and not even attempt to erase history? Just go back to Moi Day. And Moi Day used to love, President Moi used to love environment. Maporomoko, trenches, gabions, tree planting, all those kind of things. And then we theme it Moi Mazingira Day. It look more neater and we'll never lose Moi in our minds. Can you agree we change to Moi Mazingira Day?
We have heard you, Honorable Sonkoli.
Yes, I am.
Mr. Chairman, I think the the best thing, I agree myself that let it be called Mazingira Day, but the Honorable Ondo has taken away my comments. I think it is more fitting than calling it Utamaduni, because the late President Moi was good at preserving the environment. I know that we are still too close to the leadership of Moi to appreciate him, but I know that in future, the word Moi will be added back to Mazingira Day. But for now, we can tolerate it and say, let it be Mazingira Day. And then the great efforts of Moi in preserving the environment of this country will be remembered. But let's all know that it is actually Moi Day.
Very well, I think let's hear from Honorable Member. And that's the last comment, possibly. Proceed. Yes, you have the microphone now.
Thank you, Chair. I want to support this amendment. Honorable Chair, I remember when you were speaking about this amendment previously, of course, we were actually just doing away with the Utamaduni Day, and I noted, Honorable Chair, that it was a little bit confusing. We didn't even know what exactly it has to do with. And Honorable Chair, I'm glad that it is coming out as Mazingira Day. And just like I agree with Honorable Undo, and I think I agreed with him on the same day again, Honorable Chair, of course, Honorable Moi, Mzee Moi, the second President of the Republic of Kenya, did a lot of things that we remember him for. Where I come from, Honorable Chair, when you go to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospitals, like you're seeing Mzee Moi. When you go to the airport, Eldoret International Airport, it's actually Moi. It's like you're seeing Moi. When you go to the beautiful girls' schools and boys' schools, including and not limited to Kapsabet Boys, Honorable Chair, you're seeing Moi. So, Honorable Chair, of course, I would, were it not for the fact that Mazingira is really important, it is a day that we need to cultivate, we need to put it in our culture so that we can be able to practice issues and things to do with environmental conservation and planting of trees, of course, with the objective of this government. I want to agree that we should call it Mazingira Day, but at the back of our minds, Chair, you can never ever delete what Moi did and what that day stood for so many years, even when we used to sing. So I support this, Honorable Chair.
I think I should put the question now. Honorable members, I now put the question that the schedule be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the very well. The Chair, Administration and Industrial Security, I don't know if he's in the House. He was sharing the same amendment with the Majority Leader, and if the one of Majority Leader takes precedence, then he's false. I now want to put the question that provisions relating to the Public Holidays Act, Cap 110, be amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Trustees Perpetual Succession Act, Cap 164.
Very well. I propose the question that provisions relating to the Trustees Perpetual Succession Act, Cap 164, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 2, 31, 32, 32A, 32B, 3J8, 51, 61, 62, 63, 81, 91, 92, 11, 13.1, 15, Section 16.1, Section 16.2, and Section 17.
I propose the sections 2, 31, 32, 32A, 32B, 3J, 8, 51, 61, 62, 63, 81, 91, 92, 11, 13.1, 15, 16.1, 16.2, and 17 be amended as proposed in the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments on this one, and therefore I put the question, the sections 2, 3.1, 3.2, 3.2a, 3.2b, 3j, 8, 5.1, 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 8.1, 9.1, 9.2, 11, 13.1, 15, 16.1, 16.2, and 17 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of that opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Schedule.
I propose the question that the schedule be part of the bill. I now put the question that the schedule be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Trustees Perpetual Succession Act, Cap 164, be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Industrial Training Act, Cap 237.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Industrial Act, I will take that again. I propose the question that provisions relating to the Industrial Training Act, Cap 237, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 5B3.
I propose the question that sections 5(3)b be amended as proposed in the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments on this one, and I therefore put the question that sections 5(b)(3) be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of that contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Industrial Training Act, Cap 237, be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Traffic Act, Cap 403.
I propose the question. I propose the question that provisions relating to the Traffic Act, Cap 403, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 117(3).
I propose the question that sections 117(3) be amended as proposed in the bill. There are no amendments again, and therefore I put the question that sections 117(3) be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 117(8).
I propose the question that sections 117(8), no, mover, there are amendments on this one. Mover. Section 117(8). Mover, there's an amendment on this one. Leader of majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I beg to move that the Traffic Act be amended. Sorry, Honorable Chair, just a minute.
That is 117(8).
Yes.
Yes.
The Traffic Act, Cap 403, be amended as provided for in the order paper. Honorable Speaker, if you listened during the second reading, this relates to the instant fines on traffic offences, where in the bill there was a proposal to increase the penalty from 200 shillings to 200,000 shillings, and the committee felt that this
the majority, just move section 117(8). Because we still will have 117.9 and then 117.10.
117.9 and 10.
117.8.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And as I said, Honorable Speaker, it is to delete the expression to a fine exceeding 200 shillings onto imprisonment of a term not exceeding 1 month, and therefore substitute with the expression on first conviction to a fine of an amount equivalent to 10 times the maximum statutory payment of the offense to which the notification relates, and an amount equivalent to 20 times of the penalty for a second or subsequent conviction. Honorable Speaker, that's what I was explaining. The bill provided for an increment of the penalties or fines from 200 shillings to 200,000 shillings, and therefore we are amending that to create a fine that will be 10 times what you should have been fined had you considered to the charge that you are being charged with and signed the notification pleading guilty to pay the fine. This relates to instant fines, Honorable Speaker. For instance, when I double park in the city and the policeman comes and puts a notification that I have violated this and that section of the Traffic Act, and I am liable to a fine maybe of 1,000 shillings, and all I need to do is to sign on that notification and send it through electronic means or whichever way to pay for the fine, and that matter ends there. Or appear in court to defend yourself. And should you fail to do that, then we are saying you will now be liable to pay 10 times what you should have paid in terms of fines. This is to act as a deterrent for people not to fail to pay fines, Honorable Speaker. And there is also, of course, the introduction of electronic modes of payment of such fines. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. I now propose the question that sections 178.8 be amended as proposed by the mover. If there's any interest in this, and I think there should be no much interest because I heard during the second reading everybody was supporting it. I therefore now put the question that sections 117.8 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of our contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Now it means that the amendment by the Honorable Gasairo for Kitutu Masaba falls.
Section 117.9A.
Mover. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Section 117, I beg to move that Section 117.9A be amended as provided for in the order paper. Again, Honorable Speaker, this again relates to such fines for minor traffic offenses. And Honorable Speaker, it provided for again that this would be moved to from 500 shillings to 500,000 shillings. And we are now amending to provide for payment to at least 20 times for people who are not fast offenders. They will now be required to pay 20 times the maximum penalty payable for the offense of which it was provided for. But also the proviso that provided that where the notification relates to 2 or more offenses, the fine under this paragraph shall be based on the offense with the highest penalty under the notification. So for instance, if I, again, using the same example of double parking, I am charged with double parking and obstructing traffic, and maybe the penalty for obstructing traffic is 2,000 shillings and one for double parking is 1,000 shillings. I will be required, if I do not pay the fine of 2,000 and 1,000 shillings by signing the notification and returning to court or appear in court, then the police will track me, charge me, and I will be required to pay 20 times the higher of the 2 penalties, which will be 20 times of the 2,000. You'll be required to pay a sum of 40,000 shillings. Again, as a deterrent, so that we ensure that traffic even the minor traffic offenders, Honorable Speaker, and instill traffic discipline, Honorable Speaker. You've seen what happens in our cities and most of our roads. People overlapping and creating 4, 5, 6 lanes on a road that has 1 or 2 lanes, Honorable Speaker, and therefore creating a lot of inconveniences and costing many other Kenyans dearly. including ambulances getting stuck on roads, Honorable Speaker. We therefore must bring some sanity back into the traffic management of our country. I beg to move.
Very well, I propose the question that sections 117(9)(a) be amended as proposed by the mover. Yes, Honorable Ridikiri.
I think this is a very nice amendment, because what we are witnessing today in terms of accidents and traffic offenses almost everywhere, either by border, by private vehicles, even official vehicles, government vehicles. So I think as a matter of trying to control this and restoring behavior and sanity on our loans, I support this amendment. And actually I'm saying it is even a very lenient amendment. It should have been made more punitive, because I think it has reached a point where now we have to tell Kenyans to do certain things by force. So, Mr. Chairman, I support this amendment and argue that it needs to be brought in very quickly and implemented into law. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, let's hear from the honorable member. Make him have the microphone. I need to be supported. They are trying to track you there, honorable member. Any microphone near there? Okay. Very well, thank you, Honorable Dikiri.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I stand to support this amendment? Actually, what is going to cure is congestion in our law courts. Because if a fine can be made at the inception where the, where the offense has been committed, then there is no need to go to the court to congest there. And also, the first, the speed of remuneration, whereby the money is paid immediately and the charge is like done on what I would call real time. And actually, that's the way we should go. Let us be real time, because technology is with us here. Let's make use of the technology. Thank you.
Very well. Ruku, finally.
Thank you, Chairman. It is to support this amendment, and also that there is need of total overhaul of all the traffic laws we have in the Republic of Kenya, so that we can have a proper traffic management laws, which also incorporate, Chairman, incorporate even the use of satellite to monitor the traffic or traffic management in the Republic of Kenya. That the Republic of Kenya must have a dedicated satellite for purposes of traffic management, such that once you have an offense, you are billed there and then, regardless of where you are, whether you are in Turkana, whether you are in Ramu, whether you are in Kikuyu, or even in Nairobi. So there is need for a serious overhaul of the traffic laws, so that we can have a proper traffic management laws, which will also go a long way in increasing the revenue of the government. Thank you, Chairman.
I had said it would be the last one, but the honorable member had wanted to speak on this. Let's hear Honorable Aika.
Asante mwenyekiti kwa kunipatia hii fursa niweze kuchangia kwa mambo ya mabadiliko haya ya sheria hizi za barabarani. Na kabla sijaunga mkono, tukizungumzia mambo ya barabarani, nataka kutoa pole zangu kwa waliohusika na ajali ya Kenyatta, ilikuwa kule Taita Taveta, mahali inaitwa Maungu, Voi. Nataka kutoa rambirambi zangu kwa familia wa wote waliopatwa na msiba huo. Nasema pole sana kama makaunti wa Taita Taveta. Na niseme ni wakati sasa umefika tuweze kubadilisha hizi sheria za barabarani ili kuwe na ufasaha. Ajali zimekuwa mingi. Jumamosi pia nazika mtoto ambaye alipata ajali, mwanafunzi alipata ajali upande wa Kapsabet. Kwa hivyo misiba imekuwa mingi, watu wanapoteza maisha kwa ajili ya ajali za barabarani, na nataka kuunga mkono mabadiliko hayo nikisema ni wakati sasa yaweze kufanywa kazi. Asante sana.
Very well. I now put the question that sections 117(9)(a) be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 117(10).
I propose the question that section 117(10) be amended as proposed in the bill. Honorable members, there's no amendment on this one, and I therefore put the question that section 117(10) be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Traffic Act Cap 403 be amended, be part of the bill. As amended, I will take it again. I now put the question that provisions relating to Traffic Act Cap 403 as amended be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Sexual Offences Act number 3 of 2006, Cap 403.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Sexual Offences Act number 3 of... I'll take it again. There's some correction. I propose the question that provisions relating to the Sexual Offences Act number 3 of 2006 be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 3913.
I propose the question that section 3913 be amended as proposed in the bill. There's no amendment of this one, honorable members, and I therefore put the question that sections 3913 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Sexual Offences Act number 3 of 2006 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Employment Act number 11 of 2007.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Employment Act 2007, number 11 of 2007, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 3.2.
I propose the question that section 3.2 be amended as proposed in the bill. There are no amendments on this one, honorable members, and therefore I put the question that section 3.2 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Employment Act 2007, number 11 of 2007, be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Veterinary Surgeons and Veterinary Paraprofessionals Act number 29 of 2011.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Veterinary Surgeons and Veterinary Paraprofessionals Act 2011, number 29 of 2011, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 2.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, we propose that we do not adopt the definition of annual premises license because the proposed amendments amends the term annual license to annual premises license, but does not amend the actual definition. Section 26 of the Act provides for registration of veterinary surgeons and not premises. So veterinary surgeons act as they are. They are the ones who are licensed. It's not the premises. So we adopt the definition of our premises. It means it's that facility that you are licensing. And these surgeons are in different categories. We have the veterinary surgeons themselves, the certificate of registration of the veterinary surgeons. They have, the Act provides for registration of the following. One of them is the surgeons themselves. Secondly is the certificate of registration of the surgeons. Then an application for registration as a veterinary surgeon or paraprofessional. And then there are the certificate holders as veterinary paraprofessionals. So it's different categories. Then there is also the notification of particulars in the register. The licenses also to practice as a veterinary surgeon. There's another license. And the other license is the license to practice under a veterinary surgeon by a veterinary paraprofessional. So we have veterinarians themselves registered and the paraprofessionals who are not surgeons as it were. So we cannot talk about a premises.
Very well. I propose the question that section 2 be amended as proposed by the mover. I don't know if this will attract some debate. In the event there's no debate, I put the question that section 2 be amended as proposed by the mover. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 2.1, Section 6.2a, and Section 2n.
Honorable members, I propose the question that sections 2.1, Section 6.2a, and Section 6.2n be amended as proposed in the bill. Honorable members, there are no amendments on this one, and therefore I put the question that sections 2.1, 6.2a, and 6.2n be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 16.5.
Honorable members, I propose, before I propose the question, there are amendments on this one, so the mover. Chairperson, Agriculture and Livestock.
Chair, section 2.2, or maybe you are not there. I don't know whether you passed.
Section 16.5.
Section 16.5.
You are proposing a deletion.
We are proposing that we do not take the amendment for the following reasons. The amendment presupposes that the proposed amendment is that if the board is satisfied, the applicant, let me just say the reasons. The registrar is subjected to the directive of the board. So the Act provides for the board to direct the registrar to effect registration and issue certificate of temporary registration. The Act itself, that is further, puts emphasis on the provision of Section 26 on registration.
Proceed.
So the amendment seeks to do away with the directive of the board to the registrar and omits the emphasis on the requirements of Section 26. So if we adopt the amendment, we shall basically do away with the directive of the board and the emphasis that Section 26 puts on this Act. And I've seen Section 26 basically emphasizes the provisions of on registration.
Very well. I propose the question that Section 16.5 as proposed be amended as proposed by the mover. Maybe this should attract some debate. In the event there's no debate, propose the question that provisions relating to the Public Finance Management Act 2012, number 18 of 2012, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Sections 43 and 44.
I propose the question that sections 43 and 44 be amended as proposed in the bill. There being no amendments, I want to put the questions that sections 43 and 44 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question that provisions relating to the Public Finance Management Act 2012, number 18 of 2012, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
So the next one we will use this, the new sections. Provisions relating to the Universities Act 2012, number 42 of 2012.
Mover?
Sorry, I'll call the section, then the mover will move.
Okay.
New section 24(3).
Mover.
24. Honorable Speaker, I'd like to move that the new section 24(3) be now read a second time.
You need to propose it. I propose the question that new section 24(3) be now read a second time. At this particular level, there should be some debate if there's need for debate. But let me hear the point of order from Makali.
You know, Mr. Chairman,
yes.
Honorable Chair, the majority leader is very much aware that this being a new clause needs to be moved and explained. You can't just say I move to the new clause and there's no explanation of the import of the clause. This being a new clause is actually supposed to generate some debate, but he needs to move and explain what is the importance of this, what is it doing to the bill, which he has not done. That's why I'm on a point of order.
No, very well. I was to propose first, so you are ahead of our business, but now the mover can come in and explain. Mover, thank you. Just go back and explain so that the House can understand. Thank you, you are in order. Proceed, Mover.
I was consulting with the chair of the relevant departmental committee, the Honorable Meli. Honorable Speaker, this, the proposed amendment for the new section 24(3) is to delete the words "a specialized degree awarding institution" appearing immediately after the word "established" and substitute thereof with the words "specialized degree awarding institutions." The logic being, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, you remember last Parliament we did make this proviso under the Universities Act to be able to establish specialized degree awarding institution for the benefit of specialized courses, especially those in the security sector. Honorable Speaker, following that particular amendment, the National Defense College, I don't know whether it's called the National Defense College or University, one in the net, was awarded the charter. The National Defense University was awarded a charter. But the National Intelligence Service had also sought to have their own specialized courses, specializing on security and intelligence services, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, we are only adding the letter S so that you can also establish other institutions other than just that one institution. And I believe the Honorable Makali Mulu, being a member, very diligent member of the Security Committee, now fully subscribes to that particular provision.
Very well, Makali Mulu, I'm sure you should be able to want to speak on this.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I want to thank the Majority Leader for that explanation because it makes it clear now. But I hope that for purpose of standardization, this specialized university will still be under the oversight of the, is it called higher education something? There's a university board which checks the university in terms of standardization. Yeah, the Commission for Higher Education. I hope they will still be under that purpose of standardization. I support, Honorable Chair.
Chair, Education.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. Chair, the proposed amendment by the mover are quite in order, in the sense that these two institutions and many others are forthcoming in the future are specialized in the sense that the National Intelligence Service, like the Defense University, and also maybe in the future other specialized universities will actually come in. So therefore, the amendment is proper and is in place. Thank you.
Very well. I now put the question that section 24(3) be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose the question that the new section 24(3) be part of the bill. I put the question that the new section 24(3) be part of the bill. Will as many of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 25.
I propose, mover, section 25, Chair Education. Yes, section 25, you are proposing a deletion. Earlier by a member, you explain explicitly what it all concerns. So who takes it?
National, what do you call it, have a capacity to be turned into universities, or actually national polytechnics. But this bill was trying to say that every institution, the technical institutions, can even turn itself to be a national university. This was going to lower standards. This was going to bring in institutions that are private through the back door and actually make themselves to be national polytechnics, so national universities. So the committee saw it wise that we delete this particular section. Thank you.
I propose the question that sections 24(3), sorry, I'll take it again. I propose the question that section 25 be amended as proposed by the mover. I hear you, Honorable Undo.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of unclarity because the respective section 25 of the Act reads that where a declaration on this section is made with respect to a public institution, So I hope the chair is listening. Here the reference to a public institution, not a private institution, as he alleges through the back door. Chair, will allow me to proceed once once he's listening.
Well, you are...
We need an immediate response. We will not go back to Hansard.
Proceed, Honorable Undo.
Chair.
And the House is listening, some with their third ears. Proceed.
Chair, I think the chair of the committee seems to be a bit unclear on exactly what he wants to do. Because the amendments, as proposed in the bill, was actually to buttress or give clarity to section 25. Because section 25 said where a declaration of this section is made with respect to a public institution, the catchword here, public institution, shall only apply where such institution is a national polytechnic within the meaning of the Technical and Vocational Education Training Act. It is the president who declares a national a technical institution to be a national polytechnic. So the purpose of that particular clause or section was to put into place a progression system where an institution can start as a TVET, become a national polytechnic, and then by the declaration, it can then become a national, or it can become a specialized university. And when we look at the bill, Honorable Speaker, the published bill, page 1843, and says a declaration under this section, now it adds to the already existing, so a declaration under this section shall only apply to a public institution. So again, he misled the House, he misled the nation to the effect that a private institution could find its way through. That is or previously was a national polytechnic within the meaning clearly indicated, and number two, that has the requisite physical facilities and human resource capacity that are appropriate for a technical university. So on that score, Chair, yes. And I want to persuade the team that probably the chair might have not been very clear what he's talking about, and probably I would ask him to withdraw that amendment and let the amendment that is in the bill stand. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yes, Leader.
Chair, Professor Udo is right. And we have consulted with the chair. I believe he will be withdrawing that particular amendment because the bill as it is perfectly in order, as Professor Udo says, because it specifically refers to a public institution, and the law also defines how these national polytechnics, and the subsection 2 that was coming in was to further qualify what is already provided for under subsection 2. Therefore, I want to ask the chair maybe to withdraw his amendment and leave it as it is in the bill.
Chair.
Chair, I do agree with Professor Undo. I think I misread some statement, and I think it's actually proper. I dropped the amendment. Thank you.
Yes, Makali, finally.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, even as I agree with that to withdraw, I think it's important we go on record on this matter that one of the problems we have been facing as a country, Honorable Chair, is a situation where we converted all our middle level institutions into universities. And we lost the middle level cadre in terms of skills. So even as we do this, it's something I would really wish that is done in a very cautious way to avoid going back to where we have come from, Honorable Chair, where we converted all our middle level institutions to universities, and you can see where we are in
proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the opinion say nay? The ayes have it.